We're back with the truth. There was nobody else at the scene. I killed White, friendly and that much you knew already. So doing so, I get to that it can feel and then I put some of his blood on that
Objection!
What are you doing, right? Tell the truth. What you look like? A fool doing foolishly foolish things. But this was what he wanted to do. Ah, yes, that's the one charm. You need to go down, stupid desktop audio. Okay, there we are. I wanted the truth, not more lies. This essentially confirms your entire case, doesn't it? I mean, I thought you said you trusted the facts. Oh, here you go. What in God's name are you playing here? You're right. Oh, one usually plays a game, but I must inform you that there is no such thing here. That was my testimony. Would you like to cross-examine? Yeah, I'll do that. I think I can faintly see what he's doing. Or rather, what he's already done. The truth. There's nobody else at the scene. So you. Come on, music. Come on. There we go. So you lied like a dog? Yes. You still are. Mr. Edgeworth. Withdrawn, Your Honor. And yet, this is exactly what he's been saying this entire time. Why is this happening? I killed a White, strangling him with my belt. But that much you knew already. What are you saying, Mr. Wright? This is a confession. I believe that's what they're called, yes. Why are you doing this? Why would you just give us a false confession? There you go again, assuming it's false. You asked for the truth, and I'm giving it to you. I mean, hey, I understand why you doubted. I've seen a lot of that kind of stuff myself. My assistant, she was prone to those kinds of things too. She went and confessed to a crime she didn't commit not once but twice. But in both cases, she was under the mistaken impression that she was the culprit, right? Suppose she was. She wasn't the kind to kill with someone in cold blood, you know? Well, I suppose you never met the girl, so of course you wouldn't know. Then why did you accuse her of being the killer not 5 minutes ago? Oh, yeah, I suppose it wasn't much of a lie all in all. Besides, now that I'm confessing, we don't need to focus on her anymore, anyway. Oof. That's right, you really expect me to believe that you're capable of being something so brutal? Of course I do. You're strangers. We're full of strangers, remember? Before you demanded I let you take my case, we'd never even crossed paths on the street before. Besides, I expect you to believe it because it's true. All the evidence has pointed to it from the start. Well, Miss Rye may be a stranger to you. I'm most decidedly not. You're an almighty fool with the penchant bluffing who's kind-hearted to a fault. Honestly, you're still the same bright-eyed child from our school days at heart. Do you really expect me to believe that Phoenix Wright murdered a man in cold blood? Well, maybe I just did what he did. Edward, what? Oh yes? And what, pray tell, would that be? I grew up and became the demon defense attorney. I see, so that's what you mean. Right, I know that things haven't looked good for you lately, but this is completely ridiculous. This isn't about that, Edward. Besides, if this was all so ridiculous, what are you doing at that prosecutor's bench? This is a thought. Was there? Did he put... I don't remember if there was anything there. But why? Why would you do any of this? Isn't it obvious? I hit the victim's head against the bed and rubbed his blood on my head to fake being unconscious. It was all meticulously planned for the sake of making it look like someone had knocked me out. That's not what I was asking, damn it. Oh. Well, that's all I'm going to say on the matter. You'll just have to make do with it. I mean, I've turned whole cases around on that before. Fine. Then add it to your testimony. Accepting the challenge, I see. Alright. Mr. Wright, I'm the one who decides that. I see no reason not to indulge the defense's request, Your Honor. No objection? Fantastic. It was all meticulously planned, for the sake of making it look like someone had knocked me out. There we go. You meticulously planned this? No. That's not true. That's called denial, you know. Mr. Wright, would you consider yourself a stupid man? Well, not personally, no. But honorable men beg to differ. Even then, I doubt that a lawyer of all people would forget the fact that medical reports are a thing. Blood without a wound is incredibly suspicious. Well, it's not like I had a better way of faking being unconscious. What do you mean? Of course you had a better way of faking it. Why didn't you do it for real? It's not like there was a shortage of things to hit your head on. It wouldn't have been hard. So, how about it? Why didn't you just ram your head against something? I agree. Oh. That's it? Oh? I suppose I just didn't think of that. There's been an oversight. Even though you said you meticulously planned this murder, it happens. You won't forget something important here and there. Besides, I'm confessing. There's really no reason why I'd lie, is there? The court is inclined to agree with Mr. Wright. There's really no reason not to accept his confession right now. And the idea that this was merely an oversight seems likely enough. But Your Honor. No buts. Return to your examination, Miss Fry. Right. Damn it. If this keeps up, he really is going to end up executed. Stop, Mr. Wright. This is enough. You don't have to go through with this. Oh, but this is what you asked for. And here it is. This is the truth. It's not my fault if you can't handle it. I did it. I killed that person. He can't be. This whole case. It can't be because of... It's not worth it. We can't keep going on with this. There's no way this is true. There's no way he'd kill someone. Which means there has to be a contradiction somewhere in here. Anywhere. And I'll find it, even if it's the last thing I do. Okay, yeah, okay. And down the back of the head. I honestly don't know. Oh. Let's see here. Ay, ay. I honestly don't know. There we are. You meticulously planned this, huh? Ah, That's just another one of his bluffs. Mr. Wright, if you meticulously planned everything to make it look like you were knocked out, then there's no way you'd have made such a massive blunder. Massive blunder? Me? Don't be silly, you know me. I'm the epitome of all thought out, careful plan. Oh really, and did your clever plan involve actually researching the location of the murder? Because if it did, why does this exist? The visitors list? I'm afraid I don't follow. Well, think of it like this, Your Honor. If Mr. Wright was knocked out, there'd have had to have been some sort of attacker. Of course, no doubt he'd have tried to frame them as the real killer too. Right, because there would have to have been a third party at the scene to knock him out. In fact, that was the whole reason that you pretended he was knocked out, wasn't it? Guilty as charged. Really not the best choice of words there. Well, in any case, because of the visitors list at the jail, pretending a third party existed was impossible. After all, he was the only person to visit the entire block that day. I remember, Mr. Wright himself was the one to sign into that list, meaning he should have immediately seen that he was the only person there that day, meaning there would have been nobody to frame. Surely that much would have been cause for alarm when deciding to continue on with the plan, right? Ah, right. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say to that? Nothing much. I suppose it must have just slipped my mind, that's all. Slipped your mind? Yeah, it sometimes happens when you get old. You're in your 20s. You're way too young to use that excuse. You're not that old. Ah, so you finally admit it. Admit what? Are you trying to get yourself killed here? I'm just telling the truth like you asked me to. There's nothing to say I didn't just forget, is there? Mr. Wright, this is twice now that your objections have gone nowhere. Frankly, I'm inclined to just accept the defendant's confession. That is, you can't do that, Your Honor. I mean, the defendant just proved that he clearly didn't plan the murder out, so the murder is still a murder. It is quite possible that he came up with the entire plan on the spot after killing Mr. White. That would explain how he couldn't have remembered the details of the visitor's list, and how he was in such a rush that he overlooked a major issue of the wound. Huh, I didn't actually think of that. Now is not the time to be growing a brain, Your Honor.
Hold it!
Come now, Your Honor. Wright's plan is absurd even on paper. This confession is insane. Mr. Edwards, it is quite clear that you are not objective on the matter. I'm being completely logical, Your Honor. I'm afraid that I simply see no room for misinterpretation. Mr. White is dead, and it was possible for only one man. I'm sorry, Mr. Edwards, but I'm afraid you are biased. I'm not quite sure how the prosecutor's office made such an oversight in giving you this case. I was willing to accept it at first, but it's quite obvious that you... Right, for God's sake, the man is going to find you guilty. Whatever you're planning, whatever you were planning, stop it. You've lost too much to lose your life as well. Fine waking up, are you? It remains the court's position to accept the defendant's confession. Furthermore, as long as Mr. Wright was the only person who could have murdered the victim, this court doesn't see any particular reason for this case to go on. What am I supposed to do? Every time I raise an objection, it just gets cut down. In the end, I am just as useless as I always have been. I can't do anything right. I really thought I could save the day this time. What was he doing? What was he doing? Why was he confessing all of a sudden? Is this all just some kind of revenge against me? Does he hate me that much? Haven't I suffered enough?
Hold it!
Your Honor, I once again urge you to listen to reason. Can we really say that Wright is definitely the killer? I'm sure there are still questions that in need of explaining. Like what, Mr. Edgeworth? Well, none spring to mind on the fly. Then just what are you doing, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm just being thorough, that's all. Once again, the defendant was found in the victim's cell, faking being unconscious. And on top of that, there was no other possible person who could have been there. The visitor's list attests to that. Even if there's no camera in this cell, we have that for this. So, tell me, Mr. Edwards, how could anyone other than any other murder possibly exist? well, yes, I suppose that makes sense, but it should. It was your argument. Now then, if there are no further objections, this court has reached its conclusion. This court finds the defendant Phoenix Wright. Objection? Objection? Yeah! No. Excuse me, Miss Rye? I said... No. Your Honor, I can't let you in this trial. He won't fight for himself, so I have to fight for him. I suppose, in the end, that's what defense attorneys do. And that's ultimately why I'm here. I don't know why he's lying, but that doesn't matter right now. I need to keep pushing. His Honor wants to end the trial, and I have a pretty good idea why. But I can't let him do that. No matter what kind of man he might be now, I'm still one of the few that remember the kind he was. And a murderer he was not. And for better or for worse, that's what I have to keep believing. I'm not done yet. Thank you, Mr. Edwards. You've coaxed a very important question out of His Honor. Have I now? There's only one way forward, really. Mr. Wright is being considered guilty because he's the only suspect, right? But what if another possible murderer could exist? Then you'd have to continue the trial. You'd have no choice. Another murderer? I don't see how that's possible, Miss Rye. But I can, and that's what matters here, right? You can see? And here I thought. With the hair and all. Hey, at least I have hair. In any case, Miss Rye, as I have stated numerous times by now, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Your Honor, please. However, I will not have it be said that I passed the verdict that I have because of the defendant's past transgressions against this court. Know, however, that should you fail, there will be a consequence. There always are. Now that I have a double penalty hovering over my head, it's much scarier than I thought. But right, Your Honor, no problem. I know what I'm doing. See you now. Well, this will be interesting if nothing else. How far are you willing to go for this, I wonder? As far as I need to. You didn't kill anyone. And now it's time to show it. The moment of truth. My list of suspects is as low as they get. So whoever remains as the only other possible suspect has to be the real killer. I mean, now that I think about it, it's simple enough. There was only one other suspect there that night. And that suspect could have easily gotten past security for a very good reason. Alright, here we go. Showtime. This guy! When you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains. must be the truth. But sometimes the simplest solution is the right solution all along. The defense accuses the only other thing that was at the prison that night, Isaac, the robot. No, they do not. I can understand your desperation, Mr. I, but this is bordering on a bad joke. I don't see why it would be. Because the guard in question is a robot. Well, your own detective warned you, didn't he? About the robot's uprising. Besides, with all the shouting and sudden red eyes, we should have seen it coming from a mile away. That's not exactly an argument for an accusation. True, but it's still possible. If the guards themselves were the killer, they never would have had to have signed in, right? On top of that, they were there the whole night. They definitely had the opportunity. So was the security camera. Why don't you accuse them as well? Face it, you don't have any evidence to support such a ludicrous claim. Well, there's the red flashing light and the big exclamation mark. That's usually a bad sign. Furthermore, the victim was increasingly agitated in the days leading up to his death. Maybe he was afraid of the guard. Maybe the guard had tried to kill him before. What is this? Freddy Fazbear's animatronic murder? Ah, yes. This is completely ludicrous. There is absolutely no solid proof supporting this. But I didn't need to prove anything, did I? All I had to do was provide a possibility. Well, this is certainly a possibility, isn't it? It's certainly something, but I wouldn't call it a possibility in the slightest. But you can't prove it didn't happen. What the fuck is this? This guy? And that's where you're wrong, Tinky Babe. I've got some ace evidence over here. Please don't call me that. Wait, what? I knew it! Yeah, baby. Groovy. Creeping in at the last second to save the day. That's America. That's my jam. Tubular. For the life of me, I still can't decide if you are trying to be a hipster or a country singer. Ah, it doesn't matter. You had something to share. Heh. All that took was knowing all the 411 non where people were getting some gnarly beans. And then all I had to do was wheel that dealio to the rest of the fuzz. Big time. Boom. Promotion. Mr. Edgeworth, translation please. I have no clue, Your Honor. Detective, I suggest you better start making sense and getting to the point. Otherwise, I'm afraid you'll have to leave the stand. Serious, Daddy-O? Alright. No sweat. Come on, legit. Okay, so I'm no word, but even I figured that the robot's not just there for show, right? So I called up the detectives in charge of the doohickey and had them fill me in on the lowdown. Well, get this. Seems Metal Man's around so they don't have the guard going off for a leak. After all, we'd be in some deep fudge if someone sneaked past while they were off having a wee. I still have no idea what you're saying. Unfortunately, I do. I'm afraid that fact had completely slipped my mind. I don't get it. What does that have to do with proving the robot's innocence? Hey now, take a chill pill, doll. I'm getting there. So anyway, there's the visitors list to check the names of what guests were chilling at the cooler. But how do you suppose they double-check these items to see if something lame happens? I mean, you can't just leave everything up to machines. And those bad boys can get confused. It's rare, but it's good enough disguise might trick our bucket of nuts and bolts, right? So that's when a true, hard-working American jumps in and takes a look. What I'm saying is that Isaac's peeper is not just for seeing things. It's also a security camera. And would you believe it? Coming out at seeing our Robocop doesn't believe one. Dude totally has an alibi for the whole night. For sure. Run that by me again. The robot has a security camera installed in it. And its tape shows that not only was Wright the only person on the scene, but that the robot never left his post once until the time of the discovery. Before you argue, the footage has timestamps which confirm all this, making it impossible for him to be the killer. Didn't really make much sense to begin with, if you ask me. Yeah, well, there's a reason for that. Oh, come on, don't be mad. You tried, and you did so after I told you that it was all hopeless. I would say sorry, but I wasn't exactly wrong, now was I? You. And me. See, I can honestly say my name too. It's not that hard. Right. I will ask you one last time. Whatever you are doing here, you must stop. You keep saying that, but I can't say I know what you're talking about. Tell me, Edward, if you never believed I was truly guilty, then why, just minutes ago, were you confidently stating that I was the only culprit? Did it take you all that time to realize that what you were suggesting could actually be true? It's impossible to even imagine, I know. Or maybe you just weren't thinking at all. Or did you maybe think I'd somehow turn it all around, like I always did? That I somehow found a magical last-minute out. I trusted the evidence, but I didn't want to believe it was true. I think that might be your exhaustion talking then. The Edward I knew would have never said something like that. And the Wright I knew would have never taken a life. He would have never forged evidence either, but, as you can see, things change. People change. The fact that you're letting your personal feelings towards me impair your judgment. How do you expect a fair verdict to be reached? Common sense tells you that I'm guilty, and you wish to defy it? Everything points towards me. And yet, your instinct tells you that I'm innocent, right? But a verdict isn't brought like that, is it? No, it's brought by a single man whose only job is to be swayed by either side. Mr. Wright, I will not tolerate this. As you shouldn't, Your Honor. I've already made my point, anyway. I fail to see what it was. You all blindly follow the evidence. But what if the evidence is what ultimately stops the fair verdict from being reached? I think those are the ravings of a bitter man that can't accept that he lost something he cared for. Evidence is evidence. Without it, then we might as well be blind savages. Oh, you could have said something so frankly idiotic just now is beyond me. Ah, but that's not exactly what I meant, though. That is exactly what you meant. A fair verdict is not the same as with the outcome you expected. And frankly, you are in no position to question my integrity. But fair enough, I will do as is my duty then. I tried, right? I tried to act as a friend. I know. Prosecution has no further objections to Mr. Wright being the killer. It's strange you had any to begin with, really. Wait, no, you can't. Of course I can. Still, I do have one last question. Why? If you killed him, tell me. Why? And why does that matter? Everything's as crystal clear as it's going to get. My motive can be simple. It can be complex, but it hardly changes what I've done. There's no justification for murder, is there? Answer the question, right? But why should I? Why shouldn't you? Mr. Edgeworth, I'm afraid I don't see how the motive changes the facts. At last, we agree, Your Honor. People don't care about the why done it these days anyway. This is not detective fiction, right? Answer the question. Huh. Isn't it obvious? He killed Mia. And that's it? That's your reason for all this? You say that like there's a problem. Yeah. You've been quiet for a while, Mr. I. Uh-huh. I hope that you have been listening up to this point, right? Yes? Yeah, sure. Then let me ask you simply this. Where is the issue in what Wright has just stated? Oh, wait, whoa, hold on. What do you mean? So you weren't paying attention after all. Wright has stated that his motive was Mia Fey's murder. Do. And you take issue with that. You told me to trust my common sense, did you not? Oh, common sense is telling me that you're an idiot. I agree. Because your explanation makes absolutely no sense. Just like the majority of your actions at night. Ah, I see. I had no doubt you would. So, let me ask you again. Where is the issue in what Wright has just stated? Do. The heart must not be ignored, Mr. Wright. The heart is what makes us human. And no matter what you may think, you're still very much human. And so I will not ignore yours. You claim you killed him because of what he did to Mia, but that doesn't make sense. Don't know what you mean. Who am I kidding at this point? Why would you go out of your way to kill someone like Fred White in the first place? After all, he was already on death row. Order. In fact, this entire murder has never made sense from the start. Why would anyone have wanted to do this? All they had to do was wait 2 more years. It's been over 4 since Mia's murder. Surely you could have waited those 2 years out, couldn't you? And heck, even then, it doesn't make sense. You avenged Mia's death by being the person to convict him in the first place. Why is it that now, after 4 years, you suddenly developed an urge to kill him? There's just no rhyme or reason to it. So what? Huh? The motive hardly changes anything. In fact, the evidence is still there. I fail to see an alternate explanation here. Who cares about the motive? I killed him. Are you listening to me? I killed him. Me. Why are you doing this? For the last time, I am not doing anything. Mr. Edgeworth. I stand by what I said. Good. At least you still value my evidence, my advice. Face it. It's over. It was over before it began, really. I was an idiot making an idiot's choice. And look at me now. I'm right back where I started. About to lose. I think I actually might have made the entire situation even worse. I should have just stayed home and not played this game. But of course not. Not me. I hate you, Phoenix. I hate you and this entire case. But then again, you hate me too, don't you? After all, under this bad makeup and this cheap wig, behind this fake name and this badge I have no right to wear, is still me. I'm still the same girl that ran away that night. The same person that wouldn't own up to the truth. Is that why you made up that story about seeing me in the cell? Was it spite? Was it hatred? It might as well have been. That's that kind of man you apparently are now. Or are you just as crazy as everyone says? Well, everyone always thought you were crazy anyway. Right. Nick? Yep. Heck. All of this really was a waste of time, wasn't it? I tried to save you, and yet you... What have you done? Did you really do all of this because of me? Do you see through my disguise and decide to send yourself to death, knowing that it would destroy me? Knowing that I still care about you? Do you truly hate me that much? Would things have turned out different if I'd never come? I guess I'll never know. It really is over this time. Oof. Well then, I'd say that we have reached a conclusion. While some unanswered questions still remain, the evidence here is quite clear. And yet, I find myself with a question of my own, Mr. Wright. What would that be, Your Honor? What happened to you? I have presided almost all of your cases, and I will not pretend your successes in them were small. In the midst of such confusion and deception, you showed yourself to be quite remarkable, I must admit. And yet, here we are. Yes, here we are. I have seen great men fall, Mr. Wright. Most of those falls were by your hand, now that I think about it. And yet, when it comes to your own, well, I shall never understand your actions. Today, or during that trial. And yet, why is it that I must also apologize to you. It has occurred to me that I may have been somewhat harsh towards you today. This is, well, something quite unusual for me, I'm sure you will agree. I suppose I was disappointed. You are a fine young man, and for you to have found yourself in this position, I am saddened, Mr. Wright, and I am frightened for future generations. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but for the moment I have no answers for you. I figured as much, unfortunately. Let us bring this to an end, then. On the charges of murder, this court finds... Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright? Is this what you wanted? Was this about attention? Did you want people to come for you and beg you to tell the truth? Or did you just want to get into the court again, huh? You manipulated this entire situation. You're going to throw your entire life away, and why? Oh, of course you won't even tell us why. Because you're Phoenix Wright, aren't you? Because the whole world has to answer for your pain. You know what you are? You're cruel. Yeah, you've changed, alright. And I hate you, you hear me? I hate you. Miss Wright, please calm down. You, with your stubborn arrogance and with your pride, you always had to make yourself feel big, didn't you? No, I didn't. All I ever wanted was truth. Yeah, well, this isn't it. We both know as much. And how so, Because I still believe in you. I always will. Because no matter how bad things get, I'll keep pushing on. I'll keep fighting. As I always have. Until even if it's impossible, I'll still find a way. I'll still show that you're innocent. That's right, with all due respect. I believe you've had enough chance. I need just one more, Your Honor. Just one last shot. Your Honor, if she is wrong, I doubt this trial will last for more than a minute. One chance. As I said, it's all I need, Your Honor. You really don't know when to stop, do you? With all due respect, Mr. Wright, I think you've said enough. Oof, I think it's about time to end this video. The next video will either just be the true ending or the fail. The fail. So, or if there's a bad ending along with that, then there's that too. So, I'll see you in the next video, YouTube. Goodbye.